I love collecting plushes. It's one of my favourite ways to accrue thousands of dollars in debt. But the one thing I love more than plushes is Minecrafter. Minecraft, it's great, right? Well, what if we took this and made it into this? Minecraft plushes, there's a lot of them, ranging from the good, the bad, to the downright horrifying. So, how about we take a look at every single mob from the series, and see just how many of them have received plushes from over the years, picking out the best plush for each mob, which one would look best on a display, and best represents said mob. We'll only be looking at officially licensed and released plushes. Many of these were from many years ago and have since been discontinued and difficult to find, especially if you're in the UK. But with that said, let's begin with the main man himself, the guy who took down Twitter. Stevington Blockington has many plushes to his name. Some of my favourites would include this Japanese plush of Steve riding his up special from Super Smash Bros., this oddly round fella, and my favourite, this guy from Mattel. I'd also recommend this plush from Jinx of Steve dressed as an Enderman. It'd look great in a collection. Alex, being the deuteragonist, also has a lot of plushes, such as this one. She has a pickaxe. I especially love this one of her in a creeper hoodie to match Enderman Steve, but I'm gonna have to go with Mattel once again, to match the one I picked for Steve. They both look great. The zombie. There's many to choose from, such as this fella from Mattel, matching the previous Steve and Alex plushes, this guy, who is on fire, and my personal favourite, this classic plush from Jinx. Just some great plushes all around with this guy. The skeleton, you better run, I'll shoot you bum punk, also has many plushes. He too is on fire, has a pumpkin for his head, and has a great classic plush from Jinx, which we'll also be choosing. Being the face of Minecraft, you can bet that the creeper has many plushes to its name. My personal favourite being this one by Mattel. It gets the proportions just right, and it's all around a very nice plush. Many of the older plushes suffer just a little from looking slightly off model or taking some creative liberties with the design. But here, they got the design down perfectly. I love these two by Jinx though. You've got a charged creeper, and a look at the creeper's anatomy, based on this classic t-shirt. For some reason, Mattel's spider plush uses the survival test design, being brown instead of black. Not sure how that got past Mojang, but hey, that just means we have an official plush of the original design, and that's neat. The pig has what might be my all-time favourite Minecraft plush. See this guy? On the surface, he seems like a pretty average pig plush made out of this slightly unique material. But what's this strange gash at the bottom of his body? Oh my goodness! Yep, that's right. This guy can turn into a pork chop. It's really morbid and I adore it. I dig these kinds of creative plushes. More of this, please. And the other ones are neat too, I guess. Also, I'm aware the bottom of the plush looks a bit sus. Get your mind out of the gutter, thank you. The sheep has a shockingly large amount of plushes, most of which were exclusive to various Minecon events. Being able to be dyed many different colours, Jinx created several different variants, each reflecting this, and they're all very cute. There's also this weird blanket plush, and some very fluffy choices too. I don't think you can go wrong with any of these. If you're in the market for a good chicken plush, you don't have nearly as many options. There's this older one by Jinx, and a newer one created for Minecraft Legends, which looks adorable. I love this guy. Hey, you remember that incredible pork chop plush for the pig? Well, they made a sequel. Now your cow plush can become raw beef. Lovely. If you're an avid hater of raw beef, however, there are some snazzy ones by Jazzwares and Jinx. The zombie pig man, rest his soul, received a few plushes throughout his lifetime, the most notable one being from Jinx. Similar in style to the Steve, zombie, and skeleton plushes from before. There's also this one, which seems to be of a baby zombie pigman, as it's missing part of its face. Nice. The slime has two plushes to its name, the Mattel one, using this unique material that makes it stand out in any collection, and another by Jinx using a much more huggable fabric. They both seem to be unfortunately out of print, but I hope someday we see them again. Being the first of many cute tameable companions to be added to Minecraft, you can rest easy knowing that the wolf received many plushes. Jinx made damn sure to get in on the Minecraft wolf plush market, making 4 of them, including this funky looking guy. Mattel, on the other hand, only made 1. We can forgive this, however, because it's pretty cute. The arch-nemesis of Skyder's Minecraft, the squid, has only a single plush to its name. Spoiler alert, the glow squid has more plushes than the original. That's pathetic. Jazzwares made this one, and it's pretty neat. A bit smaller. Here! Remember the Spin Master plush? Turn it blue, and you've got the Cave Spider plush. According to the merch database, it's an inch smaller than the original, and I'd love to see a comparison between the two and see if they're actually any different in size. Jinx also made this smaller plush. He's tiny, and I want to give him a hug. I'll probably get poisoned though. The most annoying mob in early Minecraft, the Ghast, has 4 plushes to its name. The 3 oldest ones all look fairly similar, with the Ghast making their fireball expression, causing all of them to blend together a little. However, we recently received a 4th Ghast plush from a Japanese company called For You, who seem to have recently gotten the Minecraft license. And they're cooking. They've made some great plushes of less represented mobs, and we'll see them very soon. This Ghast plush in particular even dared to go for a different facial expression. I love this one. Remember what I said about For You? Well, they're coming in again with the one and only Magma Cube plush. Props to these guys, they know where the good stuff is at. Sadly, not even For You can salvage this one. The Blaze, despite being an iconic mob, does not have a plush. And really, I don't know if it'd even be possible to turn this into a huggable, marketable toy. It just doesn't work with the design. But hey, I've seen people make plushes out of Rayman, so never say never, right? With 4 years track record so far, I wouldn't put it past them to try. Being one of the more neglected mobs in Minecraft, it'd be a little up in the air if the snow golem had a plush. But thankfully, the folks at Jinx once again delivered with this cute lad. And once again, For You came in to save the day with this new plush of the guy too. It looks excellent. The silverfish, like the Blaze, doesn't yet have a plush, and I mean, how many people would really want this thing in their house? Maybe I'd buy a silverfish plush just to put it into the atmosphere, but... Being another of the most iconic mobs in Minecraft, the Enderman of course has many plushes to its name. The most interesting plush of note would be this old school one from Spin Master, which, like Mattel's Spider plush, appears to be basing the design on the original teaser screenshot for Enderman, not the final design, or even the early Green Eye design. This is definitely a must-have for any collector. The other plushes are also neat. I particularly like this one from Jazzwares, which also seems to be using the early design. If you'd like an Enderman that's closer to the final design, I'd recommend this guy from Jinx. He's holding some grass, and that's awesome. The Ender Dragon's line of plushes are a little strange. On one hand, you have these dope plushes from Jinx and Gianfranco looking extremely accurate to their in-game appearance. And then there's these. Like, okay, I get making a large, detailed dragon plush is gonna be a tricky process. But what happened here? Why do they look like this? They're so silly and I love them, but man, I can't believe this got approved. I'm definitely giving this one to the 27-inch behemoth that is the Jinx plush. This is art. Despite basically becoming Minecraft's new mascot, the villagers only have 3 official plushes to their name. 2 from Jinx, and 1 from our new best friend, For You. The 2 from Jinx closely follow their classic designs before the days of Village vs Pillage, being the farmer and the priest respectively. The For You plush is shorter and is more accurate to their modern design. I really can't decide which one I like more, they're both great in their own right. I think I'm gonna give this one to Jinx. It's very silly looking and very true to the essence of Minecraft Villager. The adorable mushroom has several plushes, though interestingly, there's more plushes of Baby Mushroom than adults. The adult Mushroom plush by whoever than Jinx is great, and one of my favourites in the whole lineup. Originally being one and the same with the cat, the Ocelot received many plushes, and lo and behold, the Jinx plush, with this packaging, wins. We're starting to see a pattern. If a plush is in this box, it's gonna be a good one. But on top of that, we also have Bashful, Sneezy, Grumpy, and Forehead. Due to the cat being the Ocelot, but cooler, you can be sure that the cat has a lot of plushes, with a lot of breeds also being available in plush form. I'm personally a big fan of the Calico and Tuxedo Cat options, as Calico Cats are just really swag, and the Tuxedo Cat reminds me of my childhood feline growing up. But if these don't tickle your fancy, there's always this neck pillow cat that makes purring sounds when you squeeze its paw. Finally, there's this unique plush from For You, which is supposed to go on your seatbelt and rest on your shoulder. I assume it's a sensory tool of sorts, and it's adorable. One of my favourites. The Protector of the Village, the Iron Golem, has 3 plushes to its name, each by Spin Master, Jinx, and our good friends at For You respectively. These are all great. You've got Big Guy, Little Guy, and a nice middle ground. Baby Zombie is technically counted as a separate mob, I believe, so why not, right? And in this corner, the Baby Zombie has one single plush by Jinx. It's pretty neat. Really though, this could work as an adult zombie plush just as well. Just smaller than the average plush. I mean, they all kinda look the same anyways. The objectively best mob in Minecraft, the Bat, thankfully has 2 plushes by Jinx and Jazzwares. Both are really cute and true to the essence of Minecraft Bat. Really good. If I had to pick one, it would probably be the Jinx plush, although I really like the wingspan of the Jazzwares variety. Sadly, the same cannot be said for the Zombie Villager, as they never got an official plush, but there are some really neat fan-made ones out there. Hopefully someday we'll see one made. And while we're at it, since I'll probably never get the chance to talk about this again, I was just recently looking at the original Zombie Villager design from 2012 and oh my god. They just put the villager's head on a normal zombie body, and in hindsight it looks hilarious. Does this imply that the Steve clothes are just part of the zombie's DNA? Is that why they're all wearing the same clothes? This is the Minecraft lore we need the answers to. Believe it or not, the witch actually has a plush. Once again by Jinx. And I don't have a ton to say about it. It's cool. I didn't think a plush of this mob would exist, but it does. I didn't think the Wither Skeleton had a plush at first. I did a bit of digging but came up empty. I was very ready to write off the Wither Skeleton as not having a plush. And then I looked at one of the promotional images by For You, and oh, you crazy son of a bitch, you actually made a Wither Skeleton plush. I'm telling you guys, they know where the good stuff is at. Japan really does get all the cool stuff. The Wither is a similar story. Even though it's an iconic part of the game, and the bane of 2b22 players, it didn't have an official plush for years. Until the Mad Lads, For You, stepped into the ring in 2022 with this baby. This company is so cool. Surprisingly, despite being so integral to the game, the horse only has a single plush to its name, and it's so old that it's still using the original horse design before it got simplified later on, which makes it a really neat collector's item. A definite recommend. This one is sort of a technicality as it's from Minecraft Legends and not the base game, but here, it's a donkey, and the only one in plush form as of now. It's cute. I'm not sure why it's blue though, I didn't play in Minecraft Legends. Now, if the donkey and horse just barely got plushes, do you think the mule got a plush? No. The answer is no, sorry. Now, if the donkey and horse just barely got plushes, do you think the unused zombie horse got a plush? Yeah. Yeah, it did. And it's not just a zombie horse, it's a baby zombie horse. This poor guy didn't even get a shot at life. I love this. This is my new favourite thing. Now, if the zombie horse got a plush, surely the skeleton horse got a plush, right? Nope. Weirdly, the skeleton horseman got a plush, but not his steed. I don't know how that happened. Sadly, the Guardian doesn't yet have a plush, but maybe someday it will, seeing as For You seems hellbent on giving every remotely prominent mob a plush. I'm sure you'll be shocked to hear that the Elder Guardian also doesn't have a plush. No getting jump scared IRL, I suppose. The rabbit has this really adorable 8-inch plush by Jinx, and also this tiny keychain from Jazzwares. Now if only the Killer Bunny got a plush, I would buy that in a heartbeat. If the Silverfish didn't get a plush, you can be sure that the Endermite didn't get a plush either. I mean, come on, it's a cube, how do you make this into a plush? And I know the other characters are technically cubes too, but what is this thing? Seeing as the Shulker is a box, it doesn't have an official plush, but there's some really cool fan designs out there, like all mobs. For You is once again coming in clutch with the one and only Husk plush, for the 5 people in the world who actually remember this mob exists. As of now, the Stray does not have a plush, but I'm sure we'll get one in the future, seeing as we recently got one of the Husk, which it's usually paired with. The Polar Bear has 2 plushes by the usual suspects, Jinx and For You. The Jinx plush is very small and is supposed to be a baby polar bear, while For You plush is larger and looks more accurate to the in-game look. So with that, I'm going with For You. The Llama has a surprising amount of plushes to its name, from this Jinx plush, to a special edition variant celebrating Minecraft's 10th anniversary, to this one by For You. To even these baby llamas, how quaint. The craziest part is, these aren't even the only llama-themed Minecraft plushes out there, as you'll soon see. I'm gonna give this one to the original. I dig the creeper pattern. Starting out the Illager line, the Vindicator does not have a plush yet, but I'd love to see it happen someday. They're easily my favourite of the Illager family. Well, unless you count... it. Likewise, the Evoker does not yet have a plush. And while we're at it, the Vex also doesn't have a plush. Man, this is sad. I think the newer design introduced in 1.19 would honestly be a perfect fit for a future plush. So hey, let's make that happen. You may be shocked to find that the Illusioner, an obscure, unused mob in Java Edition's files from over half a decade ago that is still yet to be properly implemented into the game, doesn't have a plush yet. Unforgivable. Being yet another cute, marketable animal to be added into the game, you can bet that a parrot plush exists. First, this one from Jinx, though it has no variants for all the other parrot colours, only red, which seems like a no-brainer. Wonder why that never happened. Secondly, For You also made a return with another seatbelt plush, which in this case is even more perfect, as parrots will actually sit on your shoulder in game. The bane of all Bedrock Edition players, the Drowned, has a surprising number of plushes, with 2 from Jinx and 1 from For You, which is just weird to me. Is this really where their priority was? Did they think the Drowned was going to be the next big marketable monster? My brother in Christ, we hate these guys! All my homies hate the Drowned. I'm giving this one to the 7-inch Jinx plush. He looks like he's pointing to some good food at the McDonald's drive-thru. Yep, it has a plush. This stupid dinosaur has a plush. My god, we are doomed. The Dolphin has 4 plushes, 2 by Jinx, 1 by Mattel, and another by For You. These are all great. I love the tint of blue used in the Mattel plush, even if it isn't as accurate to its in-game appearance. I need to give this one to the larger plush by Jinx. It's just 14 inches of pure Minecraft Dolphin. What else could you possibly want in life? Sea turtles, everyone's favourite endangered species, have many plushes from Jinx to Mattel to For You once again. I love how the Mattel plush uses a different fabric for the shell. It's a fun attention to detail. And the 11-inch plush from Jinx is great too. Also, from here on out, many of the plushes we'll begin to see will become a bit more standardized. By this point, Microsoft had owned the game for several years, and quality control when it came to Minecraft merchandise had become a bit more strict, as we're going to see. I'm sad to report that none of the fish variants in the game have plushes. Tragic, but not all that surprising. Alright, you know what I said about quality control? I might have spoken too soon. What the heck is this? Why do you look like that? Well, that one aside, the rest of them are pretty cute. There's this small keychain by For You. His tongue is out. The Gianfranco plush looks slightly off model, but it's the largest of the bunch at 16 inches wide. And then there's the Mattel plush, and the other Jinx plush, which are great. I'd love to own either of these. I'm gonna go with the Mattel plush because look at him. He's sleepy. The Devourer of Chickens, the Fox, being yet another extremely marketable mob, was an immediate fan favourite, and has multiple plushes to its name, of both its red and Arctic variants. My favourite definitely has to be Mattel's. The material they use for the fur looks so huggable and soft. I really want to get one someday. Some other great plushes from Gianfranco and Jinx are out there, however this one suffers from a bad case of large forehead syndrome. The one and only Illager, not counting the witch, to have a plush, would be the Pillager, and this is a really cute plush. It's only 7 inches tall as opposed to the 12-inch villager plush, so it would look slightly out of place in a full set. However, on its own, it looks really great. Sadly, Jinx never made similar plushes out of the rest of the Illager family, so now all we have is the Pillager. Forever alone. Tragic. Gamers, I have unfortunate news. It tears me apart delivering this news, it's just awful. The Ravager, the beastly, iconic mob, does not have a plush. Not even for you was able to make this a reality. I don't know what the point of living is without a Ravager plush to cuddle in bed. What's the bloody point? To all you wandering Trader fans out there, I regret to inform you that he too does not have a plush. However, remember when I mentioned that there was more llama yet to come? Well, let me introduce you to the Trader Llama. This guy was created by Mattel and he's silly. I like him a lot. Makes me feel a little bad for how many times I killed them just to get free leads. Anyway, there's also this guy who I at first thought might be a bootleg as he's by a company called Toy Factory, or Johnny's Toys, as listed on the Walmart website, which I until now hadn't heard of. And I really doubted if they really held the Minecraft license, but I think what's most likely going on is that this is a plush from international markets, as one of the eBay listings I found was coming from Australia. Similarly, at my local convenience store, we have these mini keychain plushes by another company that I haven't heard of, so there's most likely dozens of other plushes from other territories out there that are not very well documented. Either way, I'm going with Mattel's plush for this one. Being the hip new mob in town with an entire update based around it, the bee was sure to receive many plushes, which it did in spades. The update's main objective may have been to raise awareness of saving the bees, but that doesn't mean Microsoft can't make bank while doing it. While my favourite is definitely Mattel's with some very nice added depth to the eyes and detailed wings, the offerings from Jinx, Gianfranco and Furiyu are also great. The Piglin has this lovely plush by Gianfranco. It's huge, standing at 21 inches, and it's one of my favourites so far. Finding information on this one was a bit tricky. I can't seem to find any official sites other than eBay selling it, and it wasn't listed on the Minecraft merch database. If you can get your hands on this plush, I'd definitely recommend adding it to your collection. Unlike its predecessor, the Zombie Piglin is yet to receive a plush. And that's tragic because man, look how cute these guys are. If there's one mob without a plush I'd love to see, this is definitely it. Zombie Pigman doesn't count. The Hoglin does not yet have a plush, but once again I'd recommend these fan plushes from Etsy if you'd like one. Some of these are extremely high quality, all created with love from passionate fans like you and me. So if you need that Hoglin fill, go support these artists. I could have sworn I saw a Hoglin plush on eBay at some point, but after doing some searching I just can't find it again, so I guess it'll forever be a figment of my imagination. If it did exist, however, it was most likely a fake plush, made on the cheap to cash in on some fans. And I suppose while we're on this topic, I should lay out the differences between blatant bootlegs and custom plushes. Generally speaking, bootleg plushes will take an existing plush and bastardize it, recreating these plushes on the cheapest budget possible. They're solely made to make a quick buck and take advantage of fans and parents who don't know any better and just want a plush for cheap. You'll often find these fake plushes on sites like eBay and sometimes certain countries around the world, all depending on where you live. Back when I went on vacation a few years back, these types of bootlegs were all over the place. everywhere you looked, some more silly than others. Generally, the main reason these bootlegs are so much more common in these areas is due to the real deal being less accessible. Some companies just don't ship their merch to some areas of the world for one reason or another, and it's all these people have. But on the other side of the coin, there's the custom plushes such as the ones on Etsy, which take great care in delivering a solid product and giving you what you pay for. Support your local artists, and don't support these thieves who blatantly steal art and generally have no care for the damage they're causing. Alright, that's my anti-bootleg tirade over. What's next? Now, if the Hoglin doesn't have a plush, the extremely rare Zoglin definitely doesn't have one either. But man, that would be a cool plush to own. Maybe someday Mojang Hero Cries. Rounding out the Nether update, the Strider, lo and behold, does not have a plush. If you'd like one though, Etsy is once again your friend. Again, these are incredibly well made and could easily be mistaken as real plushes. The cutest predator, the axolotl, has 3 plushes available. This adorable guy from Mattel, this guy from Furiyu, who is twice the size of the letter plush, and our final seatbelt plush, which, man, I would love to own someday if I ever get a car. All 3 of these truly capture the essence of Minecraft axolotl. Here, we arrive at my bread and butter, talking about the goat from Minecraft. Big fan. In one corner, you have the Mattel plush. He's a big, hairy guy and I love him. I happen to own one myself, and he's the most prized possession in my house. On the other side of things, there's this 16-inch behemoth from J. Franco that looks really goofy and off-model, but I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a sight for sore eyes. You can't go wrong at all with Minecraft Goat. There's also this bloke from Australia, apparently part of a mini plush crafters set, which I really like as a fun alternative to the one we got over here. But in the end, I gotta go with the classic, the Mattel plush. The Glow Squid has a couple of plushes to its name, such as this fairly simple 7-inch plush from Jinx, but also this 12-inch glow-in-the-dark plush that lights up and makes sounds. This one is amazing, and I would love to add it to my collection someday. Also, my friend just pointed out to me the ironic fact that this plush does the one thing the actual mob was promised to do, but just doesn't. It glows. How embarrassing. Probably the scariest mob to ever make its way into Minecraft, the Warden can now be hugged via this wonderful For You plush. This one's great, but good luck getting your hands on it because this is one of the most expensive plushes I could find as of now. Just don't buy the bootleg plush. This looks wretched. The Allay also has a single plush from Furiyu, and it's definitely an Allay plush. This design feels tailor-made for being made into a Malcolm plushie, so I'm surprised we only have one so far. This guy looks depressed. Who hurt him? You will show your face. This guy was, say it with me, made by Furiyu. I love it. He looks like a beanbag. There's also this smaller keychain version who looks equally as depressed. Seriously, who keeps hurting these frogs? Would you believe me for a second if I told you that the tadpole had a plush? Well, I'm not kidding when I say that finding out about Furiyu was the best thing to come out of this project. Just, wow. The tag is about the same size as the plush itself. Being one of the most recent mobs to be added to Minecraft, the Sniffer does not yet have a plush. But you and I both know it will have an official plush sooner or later, with how much they're pushing him in the promotional material. Likewise, the Camel also does not yet have a plush, but I'm sure we'll receive one someday. I could just imagine a jumbo plush, over 20 inches tall. You could sit your Steve and Alex plushes atop of it. It would be lovely. Well, we did it. That's every mob from vanilla Minecraft as of now. In total, 55 out of the 78 in-game mobs have plushes. That's a really great number. Most of the mobs that don't have plushes are either too complex, too unconventionally designed to be easily made into a plush, too recent, or too obscure. But with how the current license holders, such as the Great Furiyu, seem to be making a bunch of plushes for the more obscure mobs, I wouldn't be surprised if this number goes up in the future. I've seen some fan renditions on how a Blaze plush could look, and mobs like the zombie piglin are an absolute no-brainer to be turned into plush form. And all of that said, here is our stunning diorama display. But we're not done yet. Let's have a bonus round. Here's all of the mobs that aren't from the original Minecraft, but are from the spin-off games: Earth, Dungeons, and Legends. Rapid fire, here we go. The Moo Bloom seems to have gotten a pillow plush by J. Franco, but it might have been a very limited run, seeing as I can't find it officially for sale anywhere, and the eBay prices for this thing, yeah. Still a very cute plush though, and I hope Mojang finally gives the Moo Bloom justice someday. The Cluckshroom is adorable, and yes, it got the plush treatment. The Horned Sheep is the mob that exists, and it also got an official plush. Cool. One of the weirdest plushes in the lineup, the Agent from Education Edition, also has a plush. Not sure why this exists, but it's a cool novelty. The Key Golem has 5 plushes, Jesus Christ. Go to your local game store and look at the plush selection if they have one. There's a good chance he'll be right there on clearance. They cannot get rid of him. The protagonist of Dungeons, Adarine, has a plush. Neat. The antagonist of Dungeons, the Arch-Illager, has this little guy. Cute. Still a shame we didn't get many actual Illager plushes though. The Redstone Golem has an 8-inch plush, and honestly it's a bit of a mixed opportunity. If this were a jumbo plush, over 20 inches tall like the Jinx Ender Dragon, that would have been rad. But alas, it's just kinda there. The Badger has a plush too. Now please add raccoons to Minecraft Legends, so we can have an official raccoon plush. Edit, as I was making this video, Minecraft Legends got discontinued. Rest in peace, I guess. The bird mount looks silly. It's not like something you would see in the vanilla game. It's so colourful, but I dig it a lot. It helps Legends stand out on its own a bit more. The Muddy Pig is my second favourite pig plush. Nothing can beat the iconic pork chop though. Lastly, one of the weirdest oddities I've encountered. While doing some research into these plushes, I found this thing on eBay, which advertises itself as a quote, Minecraft Rare Retired Skull Plush 2014. At first, I thought this was from Terraria, as the seller mistakenly branded it Minecraft. But no, it has the Minecraft tush tag and everything. Is this from that other game which they branded as Scrolls at the time? Is this supposed to be the Skull on Fire painting turned into a plush? Is this a bootleg? Well, I dug into it a little bit more, and lo and behold, this is from Terraria, as I found images with a slightly different plush with the Terraria tush tag and all. So what, did a bootlegger take this plush, do their bootleg thing, and add a Minecraft tush tag instead of a Terraria one? Why? Why did they go out of their way to do this? It's just weird. Well, that's all of them. Now, even with that, there's many other plushes we didn't cover. Lord knows the blocks themselves have a lot of plushes, though whether or not they're technically pillows is up in the air. And man, there's probably a ton of plushes from other countries that just aren't properly archived and flew under the radar. Massive thank you to the Minecraft merch database for keeping track of most of these plushes, although they aren't fully up to date with a lot of this stuff. Not a single for you plush is listed on there. It was an invaluable resource in seeing the entire plush lines from Jazzwares, Jinx, and other companies. Sadly, Jinx lost the Minecraft license back in 2022, and is now out of business. A tragic end for a company that was such a strong pillar for early much of the game. These days, Mattel seems to be the main one calling the shots, and as we've seen, they've created some wonderful merch. Although it does feel a bit more regulated, I doubt we'll see anything as wild as the Porkchop plush again, or some of the really early, slightly off-model plushies. But that's okay. We're entering a new era of Minecraft merch, for better or for worse, and it's nice to look back on everything that came before. Mobs that previously didn't have plushes for years, the Magma Cube, Donkey, Wither, and so on, they've all been finally receiving their own plushes, for the first time ever. I don't think there's ever been a better time to collect Minecraft merch, and if you're looking for a specific niche to start collecting for, maybe this'll do it for you. And with all of that said, where is my Ravager plush, Mojang?